Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf, and I'm here with Cali Rodi.
Hey.
All right, you, my dear, have got a lot going on.
Crazy couple months.
I'm sure, absolutely, and I've been watching all of your videos and all of your performances, and I got to say, you have one of the most amazing voices I have heard lately.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh,
Thanks so much to me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You have a manager who is pretty well known. His name is Rick Barker, and
Yes.
he was the former manager for Taylor Swift. And I have heard
Yes.
so many amazing things about him. So I'm so glad that you have him as a manager. Tell me what that's
Me too.
like for you.
Yeah, he has a great track record. It's awesome to have his belief in me. I met him about 2 years ago. I was still living in Arizona, and I was in high school and coming to Nashville, like one weekend a month just to write and try and network. And a friend invited me to one of his seminars where he was speaking about the business. And, I had no idea who he was, which I should have read up on that. But
okay.
I just went, trying to learn, as much as I could about the business. And, I just went to the workshop and loved everything he had to say, and got back to where I was staying and, shot him a Facebook message and was like, hey, really, learned a lot from your seminar. Thank you so much for speaking. And he was like, oh yeah, if you don't mind, will you, film a video of you doing like a video testimonial, just saying what we learned. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it as soon as I get back home. And
Right.
he was like, oh, you're still in Nashville? And I was like, yes. And he's like, oh, well, come stop by my office. And at that point, my parents had already gone home back to Arizona, and I was by myself. I was supposed to be with a friend that day, and she bailed on me, so I had to call a cab because I didn't have, a car or anything, and just went to Rick's office and played some songs for him. And he was just like, I want to manage you. And I was, not expecting that at all, and
Right.
it was the coolest day. And that's the kind of the point where I knew, okay, Nashville is a place that I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely. It, like everything fell into place for you.
Yes, definitely.
That's great. And the reason why I wanted to talk about him is the last several interviews that I've done or the research that I've been doing, his name has been coming up a lot. And I did an interview with the Darlings, and they were talking about one of his seminars and something that they had heard him say. And so they were crediting him with some great advice. And I thought, when I realized he was your manager, I was like, I really just got to know how this all took place. And I'm so glad I asked you, because
he's awesome.
And that's a really cool story too, because that doesn't just happen. That doesn't just happen to everybody. So
exactly, yeah. And he has, his hands in a lot of different artist careers, and he does a lot and helps a lot and has a lot of free, music business advice, and it's awesome because it helps a lot of people out trying to navigate this crazy business.
And it is a crazy business. Every day I learn more and more, and I'm on this end of it, so I can only imagine what you actually encounter. I mean, we all have heard stories, but being on your side of it, I'm sure is just even wilder than what we imagine. But
it is crazy.
I wanted to ask you a question too, because I saw your performance with Little Big Town on Good Is Gone, and I heard that it was $1,000 donation that somebody gave. So tell us about this whole experience. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest things in my life for sure. So to kind of set this up, it kind of got to rewind a little bit. I started opening up for them in 2009 at an event called Ride for the Cure, and they had it every year during CMA Music Fest in Nashville. And it was like a motorcycle ride to benefit TJ Martell Foundation. And so around that time, in June 2009, it was my first trip to Nashville ever. And I was just like, Dad, I'll play anywhere. I'll play on the street corner. I need to get some shows. And my first show that I played there, I think my dad and my mom were the only people in the audience. And then I was like, oh, this isn't going, the way I wanted it to go. And so the next couple days went by, and my dad's like, hey, so dad's in the car business, so, and my mom's a teacher, so
Okay.
really no relation to the business at all. I don't know how all these crazy contacts started happening, but my dad's friend was the auctioneer for the event. And he's like, hey, I pulled some strings, and if Cali wants to play, open the set. There was like 20 artists on the bill, and I was like the first person at 10 a.m. But it was a really good start. And so I started playing that show then, and it was always a really special event to me because TJ Martell Foundation is a foundation that raises awareness and money for cancer, leukemia, and AIDS. And at the time, my grandma, who is the one who got me into music in the first place, was battling cancer, and I dedicated my set to her. And while I was singing, she passed away. So, and then after finding out during that show and being around people who were so supportive, Little Big Town and Martina McBride was at that show, like comforting me. It was just like, oh my gosh, these are the nicest people in the world. They don't have to do this, and I knew that event was going to really play a huge part in my life. And I kept coming back year after year. So in 2012, I think it was, I was 17, and, I'd really been trying to get Little Big Town to notice me a little bit more, I was like, because Philip would come out and, watch my set every once in a while, and I'm just like, I just gotta really do it this time. So I saw they were doing an interview, pretty close to the stage that I was playing at, because I was still going on pretty early. And I played their song "Good Is Gone" to try and get their attention. You could see they're doing the interview the whole time, looking around, who's playing that song? Our song? And I was like, I was, just doing my thing, and I got off stage, and, I don't know who the donation was from, but someone did that, and, they were like, Cali, do you want to sing that song on stage with us? And I was like, yes, because, the foundation meant so much to me. So to have raised that money is just, means everything. And then it just, icing on the cake to be able to sing with Little Big Town, and from then on, it was just awesome. I got to write with Philip, and, he invited me to their house, and, wrote some songs, and wrote a song, and, went to some more charity events with them. And, I still got a random email from Karen the other day, just, hey, Cali, what are you writing lately? And it's like, what? It's just crazy. It's just such a crazy thing because, when I met them, when I started getting close to them, Pontoon had just come out. So they were just starting to go from, super group to superstars,
Right. Absolutely.
Really took off. Their careers did. So, I don't know. I just feel really lucky to know them and that's in a little circle. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's great. But that moment that was captured to me when I was watching that, I just felt like, wow, this is such a heartwarming moment. And it was so great that you got it on footage. I'm sure that just, made your day. I've had moments like that in my life where it's like, man, where was the camera?
Exactly. Yep.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, but it's like a running joke, too, because my best friend was with me at the show, and she was in charge of videoing. And it's like the shakiest video you've ever seen. You're getting seasick while you're watching, and it's like the running joke of, I'm like, well, if we knew that was going to happen, we would have,
Right, but hey,
camera.
You at least got it, so kudos to you on that, because how many of us never have the, the camera available? So I think that's great. Something else that I saw, because I was doing my research, so, I'm checking you out on Facebook and all of that, and I saw that you had a walking boot and you bedazzled it.
Yes.
And I loved it because a girlfriend of mine was just telling me the same thing because we thought I was going to have one. She's like, oh my gosh, if you get one, you have to bedazzle it. I bedazzled mine. And so right after that, I see your picture and yours is bedazzled too. And I was like, oh my gosh, I guess it is the thing to do. It's great. But it was so cute and it was so fun. And I was glad you posted it.
Thank you. Yeah, I've had that sucker for since June.
Wow.
I've had it for a really long time, and it is getting better slowly but surely. But yeah, going to LA for a writing trip, and I was like, you know what? I've had this on for months now. I need to do something so it's like a lot less depressing. And
right.
so my friend came over and we bedazzled it, and people would like stop me on the streets and be like, "Can I Snapchat your boot?" Like, sure. Like people are like wanting pictures with it. I was like, become its own.
Awesome.
Now, like when I have to get it off, I'm like, it was like a part of myself. I've had it for so long.
just keep it as a trophy, look back on it and laugh. You never know when somebody is going to actually need one, and then you're going to be like, I have the perfect one for you.
Exactly.
That was great. But when I saw that, it was like another one of those relatable moments. It's like, okay, we are all human and we all encounter obstacles in our life. And, it's all about making that obstacle a little bit more fun to get through. So I saw that, and I wanted to talk to you about it just because I was like, this is just so much fun. I loved it. The other thing, no worries, the other thing that I saw that I absolutely fell in love with, and you probably know that everybody has been doing a cover of Little Big Town's Girl Crush.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has been doing that. But your video of it, your take on that song, for me, you really set the mood with that song and your background with the candles. It was so beautiful to me.
Thank you so much.
And
I appreciate that.
Oh no, I've seen different takes on that song. I've seen one other one that I really liked, but yours I just absolutely loved. And just you sing with emotion, and you have really powerful. You have a very powerful voice, and I know that you can sing so many different styles. You can sing the rock and the pop and the country. What is your favorite genre to sing? What is your favorite style?
Because I put out an EP earlier this year, and it's really pop rock driven.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been really influenced by like the early 2000s pop rock scene. I loved like all the Warped Tour bands and Hillary Duff and Ashley Simpson. My favorite producer is John Shanks, so anything that he touched is what I love. But he also produced a lot of Keith Urban and Sheryl Crow and Michelle Branch, that kind of stuff. So I'm really influenced by a lot of different stuff, but I have to say like country is the thing that I've just always been in love with since I was a little girl, and it's just what I write usually is just that, and I try and, what makes me, I feel like, is having that like pop rock angst attitude to it, that youthful side that helped me get through high school, that I listened to all my favorite artists, and that's kind of, what I'm trying to do is having that country. You say country rock and a lot of people think Southern rock, and I don't think that's what it is.
No.
It's more pop rock driven. But I'm really excited about, getting that sound out there and working on some new music.
Absolutely. And I think for me, what drew me to you was the fact that you can go either way, and you can cross over into all of these other categories, and you can thrive and you can do well. So I'm really excited to see where you go next and what you do and create, because I mean, you can't just pinpoint you. You're like, wow, you're good here and you're good there. And I love it. I love it. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure all the fans know right now is that if they go to your homepage, you have music right on the front of your homepage that is free. Yes.
I have 5 free songs up there that, I'm really proud of, and free for download, and I'd love to hear what you think.
Oh, definitely. Well, before this call, I was listening to all of it, but it's really fun. It's really fun. It's the kind of music that you can just, you can really get into because they're stories and you can understand them, and people are going to be able to relate to them, which is great. And for me, that's why I love country music too. It's all about, there's always a story involved, which is just, to me, that's just the heart of it all. There's the good story and the emotion that goes with it. And you do really well with your emotional singing. I love it. Not every artist pulls it off. Unfortunately, and I've seen it where somebody's singing a really, sad song with a happy face, and I'm like, that just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, exactly. There's a song on those 5 songs on there. It's called First Kiss Consequence, and I wrote that with one of my favorite writers, Lori McKenna, and I feel like who actually wrote Girl Crush, but she is one of my favorite when it comes to like story songs and like really just like hitting you where it hurts and being like, oh, what? Like her songs kill me. And it was funny. I was at dinner with Little Big Town one night, and I knew they were writing with her for their new record, and I totally, manipulated the situation, took advantage of the situation, and I was like, I just love her. And it was Karen's idea. She's like, oh my gosh, we need to send a video to her right now. And I was like, what? And so there's a video on YouTube of them telling her that she needed to write with me. And
that's incredible.
We wrote that song, and then that's the the last song that's on the website. So
all right, well,
fun story fact.
I'm going to have to find that video so that I can include it with this article so that people will be able to find it.
It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was 17 and really awkward, and it's just a great stage.
Hey, cat's out of the bag now, but you know what? Who cares?
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. And do you have anything that's coming up that you want our fans to know about?
I really, some really cool stuff happening. Not allowed to say it yet.
Oh, okay.
But stay tuned. I post a lot on my website, and Facebook and Twitter and all that. And I play mostly in Nashville right now. I also tour with the PGA Tour and play military shows. So if you ever out of golf event, let me know.
Is that the one that's called Birdies for Brave?
Yes.
Birdies for the Brave?
Yeah. So I tour around with them across the country. And so I'm kind of all over with them, but hoping to get a band together in the next couple months and hit the road. So thank you so much for your support.
No problem. I'm going to make sure we post all of your links so that everybody can check you out. It'll be really easy for them. And, again, thank you so much for taking the time. And I cannot wait to hear.
Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, my gosh.
This is awesome.
You know what? I love this. I love getting to talk to people, and I love, especially when somebody is really good, when they're great. I'm like, I got to know more. I got to know more. So, but we will definitely keep following you for sure. Anytime that you want us to promote, or you have something that you want the fans to know about, let us know. We'll cross promote for you. You're great,
and that's awesome.
And we're so excited we had the chance to talk to you today. So keep up the awesome work. Keep in touch.
Thank you so much.
And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You too.
Bye.
Bye.